The world in which we live, the world in which the church is one of change. Simultaneously profound and rapid change. This change is evident in the exponential growth of the world's population and in the improvement of the means of transportation and communication technologies. Consider this, my brothers and sisters. If we take the last 50,000 years of human existence and divide it into lifetimes of approximately 62 to 64 years each, we count then that there have been approximately 800 lifetimes in human existence. Of those 800 lifetimes, 650 were spent in caves. Only during the last 70 lifetimes has it been possible to communicate through the written word. Only during the last 6 lifetimes has the human community had access to the printed word. Only during the last 4 lifetimes have we been able to measure time precisely. Only in the last 2 lifetimes have we had the use of the electric motor. Two to 3. And within the previous 62 years, as it were, our own lifetime, we have seen part of the world pass successively from agriculture as the primary form of human labor to the manual labor of factories, and then on to the so-called white-collar labor of salespersons, administrators, educators, communicators, engineers, computer specialists, and so forth. And consider this. The world's population has experienced explosive, almost incomprehensible growth since the agricultural and industrial revolutions. At one point in the 1800s, only 4 cities on Earth had populations of 1 million or more. By 1900, there were 19 such cities. By 1960, there were 141. By the 1970s, the urban population again doubled. By 1990, 351 cities had million-plus populations, including 140 in Asia, 53 in Europe, and 43 in North America. Our present world population is estimated just about 7 billion people. The same kind of accelerated change has occurred in our transportation technologies. In 6000 BC, the camel gave humankind its fastest transportation, fastest sustainable transportation, 8 miles per hour over long distances. It wasn't until 1600 BCE, with the invention of the chariot, that we jumped to 20 miles per hour. This was our highest speed limit for millennia. Only in the 1800s, with the introduction of the steam locomotive, did the record become higher. With improvements within a century, we made it up to 100 miles per hour. Only 3 years later, and we quadrupled that speed record, when in 1938, airplanes broke the 400 mile per hour limit. It took nearly 25 years later for our jets to double that mark and go beyond. Our rockets in the 1960s approached speeds of 4,000 miles per hour, while astronauts were orbiting the Earth at 18,000 miles per hour. And we went to the moon. In 1989, the United States space program's Voyager 2 soared past the planet Neptune and its moon Triton at 38,000 miles per hour. The time of the Second Vatican Council, our time, is a time of profound and rapid change. Improvements in transportation and communications technologies have become possible via science and technology. Science means understanding how matter-energy things work. Science is understanding how matter-energy things work. And technology means applying science to practical problems. Through science and technology, we have found material growth and educational progress. Material growth has liberated us from preoccupation from acquiring the basic necessities of life, whereas educational progress has freed us from having to accept the status quo. Both material growth and educational progress, however, are mixed blessings. Although both have raised our awareness concerning racial and gender equality and global interdependence issues, we also have seen the rise of a nuclear arms race, wars, environmental disasters, health hazards in foods, and crime of all kinds like identity theft. We live in a tremendous and rapidly changing world. Ours is a time of substantial change, both gigantic and rapid. Because of this, the meaning of human existence takes on great urgency and force. And those of you who've been with these formation meetings for a few years now remember what we said in our very first meeting, which is the first theological question is not, who is God? Who is Jesus Christ? What church should I belong to? Important questions. What is Christian existence all about? The first theological questions are, who am I? Who are we? The meaning of human existence is the context by which I raise all these other questions. What is God? Who is Jesus Christ? What is the church? What is Christian life all about? Follow? So because of this tremendous and rapid change, that question, who am I and who are we, looms before us with the sound of a nuclear bomb going off. The meaning of human existence has great urgency and force. Various answers have been attempted by people living in these postmodern times to address the challenge, who are we? Anthropology is a generic term applied to all of these efforts. It's a label that all these efforts can go into the little bag. Efforts at understanding ourselves.